everybody. Since quite a few of my videos here lately have been on the subject of 18650 batteries, I figured I'm going to do an update on my collection of 18650s that I have. It was earlier in 2016 that I did my very first extraction. It was these 6 Sanyo cells. If I can find the model on any of them, that would be great. This is actually imprinted into the side of the cell somewhere. But anyway, these are 2000 milliamp hour Sanyos out of a Toshiba laptop pack, and all of them were showing about 2.3 to 2.5 volts. And I was initially going to have them recycled, but some people had requested that I revive them. I think I will later on, but the thing is I hadn't been in such a big hurry to revive these particular cells, again, because they're only 2000 milliamp hours. But I think I'm going to revive them because I'm planning on getting my parents a couple of good Cree flashlights that take 18650s, and I'm planning on reviving these cells and possibly giving them to them for use with those. Also, the second extraction were these LG Chem cells. There's 2 here, 1 here, which is good. Another is my flashlight. Here's another one. This one here actually has gone bad. Now these 2 here, the reason why I had these bundled up like this is because when I went to charge them, they got extremely hot, which made me believe that they were possibly 2 bad cells out of the pack of 6. A lot of times when you have laptop packs that are configured as 3 series 2 parallel, you have 3 pairs of batteries. And a lot of times when your battery reports is bad, it's generally just one of those pairs is actually gone faulty, while the other 4 are fine. I suspected these 2 were potentially bad because they got very hot on the charger. So I figured it'd be safe not to use those. Now this one here, you might notice I have a question mark on it. That's because not too long after I started using this cell, it no longer holds a reasonable capacity. I'm thinking it might hold about 900 milliamp hours to 1000 milliamp hours, which is terrible for a battery like this. So it's going to get recycled. But the other 3 LG Chem cells that I have are doing, I'd say, pretty fantastic. Their rated capacity is like 2200 milliamp hours, and they charge up to around 2000 to 2100 sometimes. I think I've even gotten 2200 out of them before. So if you're curious about the model on these are LG Chem cells. There you go. LG ES318650. That is the model. And LG seems to have also different various models of these. I've watched people on YouTube extract batteries out of similar model HP battery packs, which they come out of HP pack. And they had model numbers like LGD S318650, and it's really odd. Not sure what the difference is there. But yeah. So far I have let's see, out of the HP pack I have 3 relatively decent LG cells. Moving on to our next extraction will be these Panasonic 18650s out of a older Dell pack. All 8 of these were over discharged, and 6 of them were badly over discharged, like 1.5 volts or so. We're talking about, yeah, it was, yeah, very, very, very over discharged. And I managed to revive them, and I've been using them for quite a while. However, I'm thinking serious about recycling these because they don't seem to hold a very high capacity. And more so, what I'm seeing out of them is they have a lot of voltage sag when you have a load on them, and that makes I use these a lot in the Play Touch, and I've tried them out in the new ZI6 that I modified for 18650 use, and I don't get very the run times are not the best. Now the PlayTouch has managed to get 5 hours out of them. Now the PlayTouch may not draw a very heavy load off of them, but I've noticed that PlayTouch performance has been declining over the year that I've had these about since the summer, I think. Now, given the fact that these were badly over discharged, and I think they're from 2004, they've been heavily over discharged for a long time, and I've had to pack in my collection for a while. I remember the machine it come out of. It was an old Dell Inspiron from like 2004, big heavy thing, and that machine had not been used for years, so these things had sat, asleep for a long time, and of course that has affected their performance. Now I have to say, these batteries, I have never had a problem with them getting hot while charging. They've been, very trustworthy, but they just don't hold a very high charge. They're rated for, I think, 2100 milliamp hours or something like that. Panasonic CGR18650C is a model on these. So I am thinking about recycling these. I'm going to extract some additional cells to find suitable replacements. And again, as I mentioned with the voltage sag, it really does affect the performance of these big time. I have a power bank, which I'll go grab it right now and show it to you what it looks like. So this is the power bank I'm talking about. You can get these off of eBay for like a couple of bucks a piece from Hong Kong. Not too bad for what they are. It's just very simple 2 parallel power bank. Both your cells go inside here like so, and you have the circuit board up here that contains the circuitry for charging up the cells off USB power and stepping up the voltage from these to provide USB charging power for your phone or other gadget. Actually, I got to do a repair to this one. I'll do it in another video. Anyways, with these Panasonic cells, I could charge with my cell phone being dead, and it's my cell phone is a 2012 Motorola Droid Razr M. When the phone completely dead, these 2 of those Panasonic cells, and it would charge up to about 60%, and the power bank would say it has had enough. And that was not, this is all right. I mean, it would get me. If my phone was completely dead, it would put some charge into the phone, but it wasn't really all that acceptable. Which moves on to the next cells that I have. So these are the Sony batteries that I had most recently gotten out of a Dell laptop pack from around 2004. These are the Sony Fukushima US 18650GR cells. They were manufactured on September 21st, 2004. As you can tell by this right here, if you have one of these batteries, by the way, the first letter represents the year since 1991, 1991 being the letter A. So this means 2004. I is the month, so the letter I is the 9th letter, so September, day 21. So September 21st, 2004. These cells, when I got my hands on them, they were not over discharged or anything. They were sitting at a good voltage. I think about 3.4 or 3.6 volts. So they were in good shape, and so I extracted them, and these do excellent. They're rated for like, I think, 2400 milliamp hours, and they still charge up to pretty close to that. Don't know if the laptop was just not used very much or whatnot, because for batteries that are over 12 years old, I'd say it's pretty excellent performance. I did have one time I went to charge these 2 up. They did get pretty warm. I'm not sure if it was actually my charger's fault, because the last time I charged them, they charged up just fine. No issues at all. Which makes me question whether these 2 LG Chems I have in this little arrangement here are actually okay. But I charged these up one more time, and I didn't have any problems out of them. So I'll keep them in the collection. So and as you may have seen, I have 2 of them in this power bank. Now, unlike the Panasonics that would only charge my phone up to 60%, with these 2 batteries, this power bank would charge my phone 1.5 times. Yeah, one full charge and another half charge after that. So yeah, huge difference. And I popped these into the PlayTouch one time and got a really long amount of record time. I'd say pretty well acceptable. And in my recent Kodak ZI-6 mod camera, I was able to get over 3 hours and something of record time, whereas the Panasonics I would get like an hour and 40 minutes or so. So yeah, huge difference. This comes to show, when your batteries are not in such good condition versus batteries that are in relatively decent condition. So yeah, that's why I'm planning on recycling the Panasonics, because considering what they've been through, sitting over discharged for all that time, their performance is not really acceptable for the applications that I'm using them for. I noticed that flashlight runtime isn't all that great, and they don't work very well in the power bank, and also, in my cameras, they just don't run very long. Not like they used to. They were doing better earlier, but it's just like, I'm guessing due to the age of them, and considering what they've been through, I think that had a lot to factor in with it. So yeah, guys, that is an update on my 18650 battery collection that I have here. So if you're wondering about 18650 batteries and laptops and things like that, there's a few things I want to mention. Is if you go to extract them, please be careful. Just please be careful. Last thing you want to do is short them out while you're extracting them. I've seen videos on YouTube of people just absolutely just crunching down the packs. And I'm like, no, be careful. Because you gotta understand you're working with lithium ion cells. They have very low self discharge, so chances are they're fully charged when you're cracking away at that pack. And the circuit board, the little monitoring board, the balance charging board, the little circuit board inside the pack. You got to remember that sucker is live. It's got power going to it. Not in the sense that it electrocutes you, but in a sense that if you jab your screwdriver, or your pliers in there at it and start wrenching at it, you're gonna probably short something out. So yeah, just be careful. And I would recommend you use a decent charger. Don't skimp out and buy some cheap charger that doesn't really monitor the batteries as it charges. The last thing you want to do is overcharge the cells, things like that. It's recommended to have a good charger like this that will tell you, the capacity of the cells, and it offers functions for refreshing and, testing and whatnot. Definitely nice to have. I think this is like $50 on Amazon. The prices may have changed by now because I've had this for probably close to a year now. I think March or April is when I got this. So yeah, it's I've had it for close to a year. So if you're going to be extracting batteries for that, out of laptops, it's a good thing to have. And also for you guys who have e-cigarettes, years ago, laptop batteries would be, I would say, acceptable. They'd be okay for use in your mods, but with with all the sub-ohm stuff out there these days, these batteries are definitely not for that. Generally, laptop cells have a max discharge rate of 2C, or double the capacity in milliamps. So let's say if you have a 2,000 milliamp hour battery, at 2C you would be pulling 4 amps. So just keep that in mind. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Any questions or comments? Feel free to ask, and thanks for watching. Hey everybody, I sure hope you guys enjoyed this video from Q Computer Channel.
Remember to like the video, subscribe to Cube Crew channel for more updates, and remember to tick the bell so you actually get notified of these updates. Did you know that I am also on a second channel? That's Bike Geek MTDX. Over there you'll find videos of bicycling, weather, elevators, and all sorts of other neat and interesting stuff. Feel free to subscribe to that channel as well. And again, I thank you for your support, and thanks for watching this video.